Hi, everybody. Welcome to StripJourney, a podcast for dancers by dancers about the dance style we all love. And I want to do today a little bit different. You've seen most of me talk to dance teachers and people like that, and we always talk about topics about how hard is it to start dancing, how scary it is for people who haven't tried other styles and go straight into that. And overall, I also want to not just talk to teachers, to people who do workshops and everything. I also want to talk to dancers, and I want to talk to people who also got in from other dance styles into strip over time. And today, I'm super happy to be going again to a new place. We're going to Tallinn in Estonia, and I have with me Tara. Hi.
Huh? Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Great to have you here. Can you introduce yourself a bit? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, absolutely. So, hi, my name is Tara Juliana Kolppanen. I come from Finland originally, a small place called Kokkola, but I have been here in Tallinn now almost like 15 years, so a long time. So, this is my home now. And yeah, I am a dancer, I am a dance teacher, I'm also like certified dance judge. But something funny about me is also that I have like 9 to 5 job. I am like a master's of communication management and I am a bachelor of international business. So those two things are what I do like from 9 to 5 on daily basis. And what else? Then I do reality TV sometimes, and I'm also actually Miss Globe 2015 and Miss Estonia Bikini 2015. So
Nice.
some funny things about me when I was a little bit younger. But yeah, that's me. Currently, I'm dancing mostly on heels. I started back dancing when I was really young. Actually, my mom set up a dancing studio. And then I have done ballet. I have done a little bit hip hop, even though I don't know like how to do it, but I still love to try like new styles. And now what my main thing is like frame up and strip dance. So those like two kind of things are where like my interest is now currently. I'm still learning. It is a new thing for me. So yeah, I'm learning as I go.
Nice. So you said you've been dancing since you were a child. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, so basically, every time when somebody asks me, like, when did you start dancing? I say, like, oh, I started before I could even walk. So I lived my whole childhood in dance studios in different places. So my mom started to set up a dance company, like a small company, but it was not like this official big, like, money making machine, like that kind of stuff. It was more for like young people that they can have place to dance somewhere where they feel comfortable and there is not like any political like attachment or anything. It was like really neutral space for like young dancers and like children. So basically like she wanted to create a place for her child to have like this experience, and she's like a dancer too, and my grandma was also like a dancer. So yeah, first we started, we didn't have like any own space. We just went like from school to school and we like rented those places. And then when the company grew a little bit, then like we had our own studio. And yeah, I started by like show dance. When we speak about show dance, it's a little bit different than Finland than it is in like other countries I can see. So in show dance in Finland is a little bit more like let's say contemporary. So this is actually
Mhm.
like where my base is. I didn't do ballet back then. Actually, like when I was 16, I started doing ballet just because like I really wanted to learn the style and I really liked like those shoes. It's kind of like same thing with frame up because you have really beautiful shoes in both like those dance styles. So yeah, that's where I started when I was I think 10, maybe 11, 12 somewhere there. I started like teaching also. So first, like with little children, I had like a lot of little children that I taught dancing, and of course, the main goal for them was just to have fun. Then, when I grew a little bit older, I started also coaching for like this competition groups, and we actually went to like Finnish championships too. And at the same time, I also like traveled through Finland to judge different competitions. But yeah, this teaching is something that I haven't done like well, now I do teach sometimes, but I don't like do it anymore like on a weekly basis. It's like so much like work, and like I love dancing myself, but when I do some like projects, I put like all my soul into it. So after that, I'm like all trained out.
Yeah, but also teaching, it takes time because you need to prepare, and then as you said, then you don't have so much time for yourself in your own dancing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then you want everything to be perfect because it's like your thing, you know? So it's not really relaxing for me sometimes, but I still love it.
Yeah, especially on top of like other work and everything, and yeah,
Absolutely.
finding time to do that and all. Exactly. Um, all right, but then how did you get from there to high heels and then to frame up?
Yeah, this is like a funny story because this takes me back to the time when I was like in this Miss Globe competition. So I got let's say invitation there, and I went like in Estonia. So we had like this final week where we were like doing all this pageant stuff on a weekly and daily basis, and of course like this all the other girls were like Estonian girls, and they had like the same language. And even though I do understand Estonian, but still was like a little bit different because like it's a little bit harder to adapt when you don't speak like the language. But I was having
Mm.
fun with the girls, and I spoke English, and we shared like really nice time. And actually I got to know there like a couple of people. And one of them was my previous dance teacher called Diana Aisa Tullina. And Diana actually was just like getting into dancing and getting into heels dancing. And I never thought even that I wanted to dance in heels, but I saw that okay, there is like a chance for me that I can like switch a little bit like different styles. And in that time, I was working with one girl called Nastia, and Nastia was giving us like pop jazz dance lessons. So this was something that I felt like really comfortable. It was a little bit like this Beyonce dance style, like the feminine side. And then I thought like, okay, now it's time to like look something else also like on the side. And I saw that Diana is giving like these dance lessons. And then I was like, okay, I know this girl, like she was also in the Miss Globe competition, and she seemed really nice. So I wanted to support, and I was like, okay, this is going to be like great opportunity for me. So I went there. It was my absolutely like first real high heel class, and I remember I was like in the back of the row, and I was just thinking like, oh my god, it's so hard. Like she made it look like so easy and nice, and it was not really popular in Estonia back in those days, so we were kind of like the first people who actually had like heels classes. And we had only like a couple of people first in our class, and it grew and grew and grew. And finally, like she had many classes in different like dance studios, and that was where I really like felt that my heart belonged. We did many different projects where we're like in music videos. We were like in this Estonian Music Awards. We did like filming a lot, like all those great opportunities. And then like she continued her career outside in Estonia. So yeah, then I just had to like kind of see where I go. And I was thinking like, okay, I really liked her style and I liked her energy. And the thing for me is that I really need like a teacher who has a good energy. And I need like, because I'm also, like I'm reading these tarot cards and I'm a witch. So these kind of things is really, really important for me. So I tried to find like a good place, and I saw like in Russian there is going on like this frame up dancing, and I didn't understand it a lot, but I saw like it's so beautiful. They have like this big beautiful heels. I had never tried them before, and then I saw like okay, somebody is like bringing it to Estonia, and I tried to like message Irena, who is actually like the person who brought it to Estonia, and I asked like, hey, do you have like any classes in Tallinn? And in that time, she didn't have. So I was like, oh, okay. And this is something like a ballet. You cannot like
Mm.
learn it by yourself. Like you need a teacher because it's so highly based on technique. And then finally, like I saw that she will be opening a group, and then it started from there. But like long story short, I went to have like heels class just for fun, and I ended up loving it. And then I wanted to like go a little bit more even extreme to get like this frame up classes and strip classes as we call them.
Nice. So you did that with Irena, but you haven't done any in Finland either.
So like these styles in Finland is not like it was a little bit like harder to find. So when I came to
Mm.
Estonia, it was already like new thing with heels and like so many different classes. We are really lucky in Estonia to have like so well like feeling and well-being like dancing culture, I would say.
Yeah, it looks like it. And I think what Irena did with basically moving from high heels to strip heels and basically getting dancers in other styles to just join her.
Yes.
The level looks crazy. I mean, I was watching now, what was the Tallinn Bali Gala? The level looks insane.
Yes, it's absolutely. And like especially like those dancers who are like in this competition like group, I always watch them, you know, like I always wait like they do like some new choreography or they publish something and I'm like, yes, and those same people I can see like in my open or like our open classes like that Irena holds. So yeah, it's really nice. And I even went to like Germany for her because I love her classes so much.
Yeah, I know. And I went that time in Germany mostly because of her, because I was once at her workshop and I just really loved her because she's has this super fresh attitude and stuff. And yeah,
Yes.
it's
And good
so
energy.
nice. Yes, yes, that too. Back on the topic. So I mean, to me, it's interesting that you've done so much dancing, but you haven't. At the end, your career is not in dance.
No, yeah, absolutely not. It's funny that you asked that because like it was something that I really wanted to do first. So actually, when I was like finishing my high school, and it was time to decide like where to go, I had like two big options. One of them to go towards more like psychology and psychiatrist, that like this kind of like education, and the other one, which was like my biggest dream, was to become like a dance teacher. And there is a couple of schools in Finland. One is in Oulu, who makes like yeah, kind of like makes dance teachers, and the other one is in Helsinki. Back in then when I applied, it was like every 2 years they take like I don't know handful of dancers.
Mm.
So I applied there. The audition process is long. First you write something, and then you go there, and then you dance more. I was really young back then, and the like my dancing skills of course like wasn't like that good, and now I auditioned it and it was really hard, a really like tough experience, and the feedback also, usually I love like criticism, but it was harsh, and of course it's understandable because it's really like high like school, and I didn't get in. So like I locked myself in the bathroom in the hotel room and I was just like scream crying, you know, just tripping on sadness. And I was like, oh, my life is over, you know, like I'm never going to dance again. Like it's so hurtful. And even with all that competition experience that I had, like choreographing, but also like me dancing myself, and of course, like not winning always. So, like with that experience, it felt like so heartbreaking. So he said to me, like, okay, let's go to Estonia just for a weekend. I have never been in Estonia. Just like, let's take a boat and like, let's make you feel a little bit better. And yeah, the funny thing was that like I applied here to study business and I ended
Mm.
up in that career. And my original plan was to come Estonia, be here like couple of months, maybe half a year, get like this university education experience, study a little bit English as well, and then go back and then apply like in 2 years apply to this Finnish school again. And I never did. That was the thing. Like I never did, and I'm actually like happy about it. Like because the dancing never went away. Of course, like I'm not full time teacher, but when I see it now, like I think this fits me like much better. And I appreciate all those people that I see who are like dance teachers, and they have like, this good spirit, and they have like
Mm.
so much
Mm.
talent and everything. And I can see like those people have so much more to give that I would like never in my head to have to give. So like this is a compromise decision. But yeah, actually I wanted to be a dance teacher, but I ended up in business and management somehow, as life happens.
Yeah, but that's to me is interesting. Like, and I think times have changed a little bit because before, and I know when I was younger, I also wanted to dance. I was taken to a dance class when I was like 6 or 7. At the same time, you've seen me. I'm very tall. I grew really fast. There were moments in my life when I was just super clumsy because all these limbs suddenly appeared everywhere. And I guess in those few classes, I was super bad. And then the teacher kind of discreetly told my mom not to bring me again and stuff like that. My mom, of course, told me, like, oh, the school moved. We cannot go anymore and stuff. But I always wanted to dance. And the thing is, I think nowadays, actually, there's a lot of opportunities to dance as an adult, to start dancing as an adult. More in general, I think for almost any sport, there's more opportunities to do things as an adult. But there was some time when you were like a teenager or even university level when there was none of that. You're like, wah, you missed the boat, you didn't dance as a kid or something like that. And I had a similar experience to you. I actually played basketball for over 20 years, and I started playing professional. But at the same time, I entered university, and then I saw I had to choose, right? And then I stuck to the university because, again, I did enjoy it. I love basketball, but I was never like the star player. So, so you put your time in the things you enjoy, and to the level that you enjoy it, and that is, I guess, the same thing kind of with dance, right? Because nowadays there is so many teachers. There is teachers, like Irene and others, who make you feel comfortable to come in even when you're a beginner, right? And that's for me the huge difference that I see now that I didn't see when I was in university.
Absolutely, I agree with you, and I think like especially for young people, like teenagers and children, like this kind of experience, like the first touch to like whatever sport it is or like whatever art it is, it's so important that like teachers and like those kind of coaches and like the mentors, like they are really open minded, that they are like encouraging, you know. So I'm so sorry that you had like that experience, but I'm happy that you came back, you know, and look at you.
Yeah, but I think that's so common. I hear that so often. Like, yeah, I'm also Eastern Europe, and I think then it's much more like strict. They really look for the talented kids early on, and don't really want to invest in the kids who want to do it for fun. And I guess also at that time we are not really sure what we want to do for fun or not until later in our lives. But you said you mentioned the importance of teachers as well. Actually, here where I'm in Denmark, we don't have any strip teachers. There is my friend Anastasia, who moved through England, Hamburg here, who could be teaching. So we're trying to set up some
Oh,
stuff.
so
Who is
nice.
like an experienced dancer. But yeah, I know you mentioned Diana. I know she was also in Denmark for a while
Yes,
teaching.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think like she was also like studying there. And
Mm.
yeah, she's amazing. Like every time when she comes to Estonia, I go to like her classes too, because like I love also her, and like she has really this positive and nice like energy, you know, like really welcoming. And it was always when we started, like she was always saying like we grew together, you know, like we always like teach each other, and like we learn from each other, and this was something that I missed, because like you know adult life can be hard sometimes, so you need this space to express yourself and like all those things. Sorry.
So cute. I love when we have pets to join. That's like my favorite thing. Yes, and then mostly we had cats, so it's nice to see a dog.
Yes, my little baby.
What's his name?
A Hades, like this mythological,
Hades.
yeah,
Ah,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
like a Greek god.
I'm sure you see it like in your classes as well, because you're also like so nice and approachable, and I'm sure you get a lot of beginners come into the class. And what I, as an older beginner, found the hardest thing, and that is something that I don't think I'll ever be able to make up. And this also goes back maybe to not having teachers, is the basic technique, just the body positioning, the pointing of the feet and stuff like that. That's hard. I can do musicality, I can learn the choreo and stuff, but sometimes this basic stuff is like, whoa, so hard. So what do you see when you see beginners?
So yeah, basically for me, I think it's like a vice versa, because like this pointing my toes and everything, I think it comes naturally from the ballet and from like the younger times that I
Mm.
have been like, or the earlier times that I have been doing dancing. But for me, like the most important part is because in ballet, like you dance big, you do like big movements, and at the same time, like in show dance, you do like everything comes like really from a long way. And in modern dance too, like you reach far and you try to like connect all the movements, so it's kind of like one big movement throughout the
Mm.
choreography. In
Mm.
frame up, it's like small things, as you said, like pointing just a toe, or like some maybe like a little head that you are doing to the right. And for me it's so difficult. It's like this connecting these parts, so like my goldfish memory just goes like to the error. So for me this is something that I found like most difficult. But for the beginners, I think just go for it, you know. Like I think I just had like one friend over from Finland. She hasn't been dancing a lot with heels, but we went to like one workshop, and I said like it's going to be hard, but like don't like let it like encourage you. Like we are all in the same position, even though you are not like, or maybe you are thinking like, oh, it's so hard, and like how can I like manage? But everybody else is in the same like position. They're thinking like the same thing. So just like feel comfortable. You are there for yourself. Like this is for your time. You should be like enjoying this and like take small things, like whatever you can. Maybe this time you will like focus on pointing your heels. For example, what I do every time when I go to the class, I have a goal, like one specific goal. It can be like, okay, I will work on my shoulders. I will put them down today. And I try to like remember that throughout. So whatever happens in the class, then I can come out and then I say like, okay, did I remember this or did I not? Maybe not this time, maybe the next time. So I think this is like a good thing for the beginners too. So you can basically like focus one thing, maybe like two things, but the most
Mm.
important thing is that you are just like enjoying yourself and like go for it. If you're thinking like whether should I go or not, go. Like there is nothing that you should be like ashamed or afraid of. It is your time, and like you will be more like, I think this is my own opinion, that you will regret it more if you don't go that you will go. You know, maybe the first time will be hard, but for the next couple of times I think it will be a lot like better.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I've ever regretted going to a dance class because
Exactly.
you learn everything. Even if you, at the end of the day, maybe you don't like the choreo or you don't like the way of teaching or something, you still learn stuff no matter
Yes.
what because it's something new.
Exactly. And then you can see it like in a long run, you know, like maybe not in the next time, but like in a year, you can see like, okay, because I went to this class, now it is like so much easier for me.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely.
And how about you?
Um,
Like, I want to ask because you said like in Denmark, you don't have like any frame up teachers, but I can see that you dance so well. So how have you taken like online classes or have you like, I can see you in the workshops, but like, how do you like then train in Denmark?
yeah, I did this. I did this thing that I hear a lot of people say starting during Corona when everybody went online. But I don't speak Russian. Yeah, there was a lot of you know, dance is universal. You use your body, so you kind of try and get it, even though you don't understand what's being said. So yeah, that's how I learned. I learned mostly from online, and then when I saw the workshops and stuff, then I decided to go for it. And it is the thing when I travel, when I go to yeah, this weekends and stuff, it really pushes my level super fast. And then when you come back, you're super motivated. But of course, when you train on your own, it's hard because you need to make yourself. Like I know, I mean, I have also a full-time job. I have kids and stuff. So I know my me time is when everybody's in bed, and you know when you're kind of tired, then you have this 1-2 hours where you also, of course, need to do other things, and then you're like, maybe not today and things. But I mean, what you heard from other teachers as well, especially people who started doing Corona, it is that limitation of training at home that makes you also be more creative, that makes you do stuff. And yeah, so not having a lot of time, I did teach a little bit in the. I just want to popularize. Obviously, this is why I'm doing this whole thing with the podcast and everything, because also the podcast was a way for me to contribute without being a teacher, a professional dancer, or I don't know, talented dancer, whatever. Um, but yeah, the thing is, when I was teaching, what I found is I would just be so exhausted because at some point I taught like 3 classes a week, and then you have to come up with choreo, prepare that, teach all, have this energy to give to people this few hours, and then my body was like, now it hurts here, now it hurts there. So yeah, that didn't really work for me. I probably can still do I beginners and do some workshops and stuff, but I realized then that if I myself want to progress, I want to put more time in me, and again that I would rather than find somebody who is good and who is a great teacher, and then try to work together with them to get them established to have classes here and things. So that's my current I guess thing I'm trying to do. And I want to do my own projects, as you said. That's super fun, and I just have all this, like, you have these ideas, and quite a few teachers I've talked to, and they're like, yeah, you go for it. It doesn't matter that you need to reach a certain level either, because again, this is a young style that's developing, and everything is a contribution in a way. Everything can be inspiring for others to try different things. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think like this podcast, it's like so amazing. For example, for me, I have learned so much from it. You know, like I always like listen every episode, and like for the
Thank you.
whole community, I think it's so nice because it's like bringing like people together. It's the same thing for me. I don't speak any Russian, and I understand you when you say like you have taken like some classes in that language, because I have always taken, like I have also taken classes in Russian language, even though I don't speak anything. Of course, it is more difficult, but you still learn like watching and
Mm.
like trying yourselves. It's not like it's not preventing you to taking some classes if it's in like different language. Of course, it requires more from you as a like person who is like learning this style. But yeah, I love this podcast, and I have like found so many people. I always will go and watch like the Instagram stories, and everything, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is the style that I like, like this is the person that I want to take class. I don't know, when I see he or she is going somewhere. So
Yeah, yeah, but that's kind of the whole point, because even when you're in a position like me that you don't have a teacher here, maybe there are classes somewhere nearby, and maybe you can combine it with a holiday or something, and go see a new place, go do some dancing, and if you don't have anybody here, you will make friends.
yes,
I came to my first workshop, and I'm in my 40s, so I'm not young. I'm not your like not you are not somebody you would expect to find these things. And I went there, and the whole actual workshops were in Ukrainian. It was a weekend workshop. Everything was in Ukrainian. And yeah, and you just make friends. You just start talking to the person next to you, like, "Oh, I'm tired. Are you tired too?" or whatever, or and
yes.
it's really fun. And then it doesn't matter how old you are, how experienced you are, or anything, because it's we're all there to have fun. We're all there to learn. It's not a competition.
Yes, absolutely. And I think especially like when I went to Germany, like this was something really refreshing for me. Like as you said, like people were so nice, and like the whole environment was so nice. Like I'm even getting like goosebumps when I talk about it, because it's like so important for me. But like it was so welcoming and so open environment, and like I want to do this more, and I hope it stays, like I hope this community when it grows, like it stays in the same way, that everybody
Mm.
is welcome, and everybody is working together, because it's just like it's something different, like it's completely different. I have taken so many workshops and like different kind of classes, and it's not always like that. So like sometimes you take it as granted, but like yeah, I really love it. And this like German experience will definitely like take me to my next like workshop too, like with frame up and and strip dance. So
Yeah, I think Irina and Alina try really hard and put a lot into the organization. And I love that it was the high heels and frame ups,
yes.
because I did, in the meantime, I took some high heels classes, but this was my first workshops in high heels. And I was like, oh, but this is just so fun. And you can put these two things together, and then you get so much then out of it. Yeah.
So feminine, and so like yeah, it makes something different when you put like heels on and then you have a little party.
Yeah, 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 absolutely, absolutely. Um, so we talked about, yeah, we talked about workshop, we talked about your experience in dance, but I do want to look into this experience on, yeah, in general. When you do dance, you perform. You said you've also been in music videos and done other things, and then you went on reality TV. How does your kind of performance background help there?
It does absolutely a lot, in my opinion, of course. And I'm really used to cameras. So when I went there already, it wasn't like I see the first time camera. And actually, in my international business, also like education, when I did my bachelor's, there we spoke a lot of like PR. So
Mm.
I had a little bit different maybe background going there. I already knew like some stuff, and I love reality TV. Like this is something that I love to watch, like. And this specific like program is actually like really popularized in the Sweden. There was like one princess even that went there like from Sweden, yes. And this like I watched all the seasons, like I was absolutely fun. And then when this opportunity came, I was like, absolutely, I want to go there, and it was like a time in my life where I was like well, I just like had broken up, and it was a little bit like let's say a difficult situation. So I really wanted to have like something new and fresh, and I went there, and yeah, all those like times in stage when dancing, and all those times in front of like cameras, when I was dancing and like working with different kind of productions, I think it helped me in a way that I was already like familiar, not only with the cameras, but actually like the way how like artistic world works. So there will be a lot of times, sometimes waiting, or maybe there is a lot of times that we are doing again something. So like these kind of things, like really basic things that maybe people who have never been involved in like artistic productions,
Yeah.
like I already like had this background, and this is something that really helped me. And of course, like um what else good like this dancing give me? Of course, I have like fun there too. Like I dance quite a lot, and like some of them were like clipped in the TV show too. But yeah, I think the overall performing and like I think I was more relaxed. So like I knew already that I don't have to be afraid, and I had been like I had this experience from the Miss Globe competition and in Canada and in Estonia, and then like I had some interviews from the magazines, and then I have had like some sponsorships where I was
Mhm.
interviewed and those kind of stuff. So it really like gave me this background when I went there. Like okay, it was a little bit more natural situation for me, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't like super out of your comfort zone, right?
Yes,
In that
yes,
case.
absolutely no. I love this kind of thing. So I went there and it was my absolutely dream.
Yeah, because that's so scary. Because when I think, when you when you dance at workshops and you do selects, and then you're, especially in workshops, right? Not just when you do like regular classes, and then you record at the end. But when you do selects and you're like in front of all these people, and then there's also a camera in front. I don't know. Suddenly the floor is very interesting. I look at all my videos. I'm usually looking at the floor. This is this is my task to work for next time. It's like. It's really hard.
But that's a good thing like about videos, because then you can see like for example me, it's super important for me to like film all my classes. Like when I go just to normal class, I always film like if it's possible. And if there is like a teacher who like says like, oh, you cannot film here, then like unfortunately I'm not coming like this class again, because I'm there for myself. And I need this filming, not only like publishing my social media, but I go back, and this when like my work starts, I go and I watch again and again this video, and I see like, okay, there I can be a little bit more sharp, there my points like my toes are not pointed, let's say, or there I'm a little bit late. So I can see like these little things from this, and I think it's really like helpful.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Also, when I train on my own, I have to record myself because sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, this worked, this was great. Then I see the video, and it's like,
Same for me, absolutely. I'm thinking like I'm killing this time, like it's absolutely my best best thing, and then I see and I'm like, maybe one more time.
yeah, yeah, the dancer in my head is always better than than the dancer on the screen.
Same for me.
I think it's interesting, but I think it's also good for your own confidence that the dancer in your head is better than you're not like, oh, I'm messing this up, I'm messing this up all the time.
Yes, yes. And this is actually something that I need to work on, like this body and mind connection. I went to like this Kristin Olesen workshop a couple of weeks ago, and like this was something that I learned. Like she really gave me like good tips to like try to work this like body and mind like connection, because sometimes exactly how you say it doesn't have to be for me the camera, but it actually just like overall like the whole situation. I'm getting like so nervous about the choreography because I know I have like this goldfish memory, and now I'm like sabotaging myself, like I'm thinking like, oh okay, I cannot do this, and of course you cannot do this if you don't believe yourself. So yeah, these kind of things are also like the things that I have to work on.
I'm gonna challenge you on the goldfish memory because I only went to dance Irena's strip select because I knew you would be up front, and I saw that you knew all the choreo.
Uh,
Because I'm like, what goes next? La la la.
yes, and I love that. I haven't seen like I have took like the videos, but I have been like so shy to yet watch it. But like let's see how it went there. It's like my favorite choreo I think all time. Like it's so special.
It was a lot of fun. But again, this is it. Because I haven't known you before, and I came there and I said hi to you and stuff, and then you just feel more comfortable when you know people, even if you haven't maybe known them in person before.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And then like that's like the start of the friendship, I think. Like the first times when you say like hi, and then you maybe like are in the same video, and then all of a sudden, like next time we see, and then it comes. So yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
Because also as grown-ups, I mean, you base your friends on your hobbies.
Yes.
It's not somebody you went to school with or whatever. It's people who have the same interest who will stick to that, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's so like I think for me it's really hard to make friends because I'm really like home person, like I just want to stay home. I went to dance classes and of course like to the office, but like
That's it.
that's it, like I'm just like with my fiance I'm like staying home.
Yeah, you have to have time to watch all the reality TV as
Yes.
well. I mean, a lot similar for me, but it's mostly because yeah, kids and stuff. But it is a hobby I put in like most of my free time in, and it is not a easy on the body hobby because I notice if I take more classes, and of course there's a difference then if you're a pro and people who train every day, who train for hours every day, and what you can invest as a person who is not doing that for your main job or whatever. There is a difference. And there is also the thing you have to be just aware that you can only go that far with the amount of time you invest.
Yes. Absolutely. And I think that's a good point. Like I remember like one of the previous episodes you were talking about like these small things that you can do like when you go to the workshop. Like and I think this is important because for me, for example, I didn't even think about it when I went to the Germany. And then I listened like after that episode and I was like, oh, I should take like this my roller with me that I can like massage like all my muscles. It would be like so helpful. So I think those kind of things are like so important for like us when we go. And yeah, just as you say, like the amount of time that we have, like we can do so much. But yeah, we will take best out of it every minute.
Yeah, and I saw you do it, and I saw some other dancers that went to some other conventions do it. When you're back from convention, I saw you repeated the choreos again on your own, in your own time, with your own space.
Yes.
And that's also good to remember and maybe try to clean up like your favorite ones or something.
Yeah, and I do this like often. One reason is because I love the film. It is important to like repeat the things exactly because of this like cold fist thing, having my cold fist memory. Because then I can like really easily remember like what the teacher said, like what are the things that I have to pay attention, and then I can like do. And I think that's when I actually do the work. So in the workshops, I'm going to have fun, and then when I come back, the work actually starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, and I see like also like I think those people who like repeat all the time, like even though it's maybe like not their like not their time to dance, they are still like on the side and they are like still repeating. I think like those are the ones that get like the most out of it. Sometimes for me, I'm like really visual learner, so
Mm.
I can do this, but when I don't have like the choreo in my mind, I have to like look first, you know, like I have to look and see, and then I can just like feel how it feels to me. But yeah, I think this is something that maybe I will do. Like I will be having like this Janis Marshall workshop, like the intensive,
Oh.
like 3 days in next year. So maybe this time I will try to, you know, like push everything. Sometimes it's just like, you know, like your physicality is not enough, you know. It's like 3 hours and I'm like, oh, I cannot dance anymore. No, and I see like other people like just doing and doing. So this is something also like a good tip to try to.
And so hard.
Yes, I'm so excited, but I'm so scared. Like last time that I took like his classes, and I also like took Cisco and then Fraule's classes, I was just like I was so afraid. I was like, oh my god, and like and my legs are not moving like to go toward in that place. But it was actually really fun and like good time. Of course, challenging, but you know when you take it as like oh it's gonna be fun. But I will
Yeah.
report back then how was it if I'm still alive.
Yes. Very, very curious about that one. But yeah, as you said, we all react differently to workshops, and it depends how it works. So for me, I need to repeat stuff a million times. So I actually love, even though I'm like, oh, every time, I love it when the teacher's like, again, 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 because I need that. I need that to get into my muscle memory, because otherwise, once you go to selects and once you're maybe if you're in the first row and you don't have anybody in front of you, then I need that muscle memory to make it work. But yeah, but the moment I'm crying every time they're like, yeah, and we do it again, and I'm like, oh, I can't move, my body hurts. Ah.
Yeah. But for me it's the same, like I love to do it like a million times, and I often find like when it is like oh the class is over, I'm like oh is it already, like not yet. Like not yet, maybe like half an hour more, like when it comes with this, for example, like when we did like this Bella choreography, like I was feeling like okay maybe 15 minutes more, than then I could like feel really comfortable about it. But it's the perfectionist side of me too, and I think it's the same
Mm.
for you, you know, like when you think about it, then you're just like, oh, if I can do like a couple of more times, maybe like 5 times, then it turns out like 10 times, and then you always find like some little things that you can even improve like even more. But yeah, I agree with you that point that like when we do it again and again and again, like I really enjoy it. The more you do it, the more you feel that you can actually dance. It's not only movements, but it's like dancing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and now we dance. Now we learn the whole choreo, and now we dance as many times as we can until the end of the class, and that is the best time. And you never get bored. You can do it like 20 more times. No
Yes.
worries if you have the energy.
Yes,
because,
exactly.
because that's what you said. Like when you're recording, especially when I'm training on my own and I want to record, then I'm like, record. Okay, one more time. One more time. At the end of the, I can't walk, but for some reason, always the last one you record is the best
Yes,
one.
yes, it is. I always say to
So
my fiance, like when we are filming, I'm just like, maybe we just like, we don't film the first, like, I don't know, 10 times, and then we just film like the last time, because it's always like the last time, and then we have like, but I don't think it works in that way.
no,
Maybe
no,
one
and
day.
yeah. You have to think. You
Yes.
have to think. You always have the one, right? Otherwise, it doesn't. It doesn't work. But you mentioned perfectionism and stuff, and I see that a lot in dancers. I'm actually not a perfectionist. But also I thought very early on I kind of accepted that, because otherwise I would never enjoy it. I would never put anything on social media if I was worried and stuff. And I treat my social media more as a diary. I almost force myself to post everything, even if it's like super crap, just to keep going, and also to tell myself, okay, here you didn't practice well, so you have a shitty take, and that's all that's gonna go now online and stuff. So I think it's also this knowing where to pull the line, also for yourself, to not make it frustrating, to not make it, as you said, it should be fun.
Yes, exactly. So maybe it is the perfectionist, like maybe it is inside of your head. I don't know.
That would take like extra hours to for stuff to be perfect. But that's the thing. We do this because it's fun. We do this to make friends. We do this so we have people that we can talk for hours about this
Yes.
as well. That's the whole point. Cool. Do you have any other advice you want to give to people who want to start something like strip?
Mm, I think like a really good advice would be to take also other classes. Like even though you think that maybe it is not beneficial for some specific style, let's say like this frame up and strip, uh, please take like ballet dances if you can. Go maybe to hip hop classes. For me, it's super challenging. Take heels classes. Take maybe contemporary classes. Even though you feel it's not my style, I don't like it. Go there, experience different teachers, and you will learn things that will be helpful for you, like in different dance styles. Really often what I can see is that when people are mixing like their own style, it comes like from different dimension of dancing. So it can be taken from ballet, it can be taken from, I don't know, jazz maybe. So if you know these things, or you have seen them before and you have tried them before with your own body, then it will be easier for you. I think this is something that is like really, really like good advice that I'm also trying to apply. And the other thing is just like don't be too harsh on yourself. Like as we have spoken like this whole time, like it is important to have fun. So if something goes wrong, like don't think like, oh, I messed up. Like nobody cares. Like nobody cares. We all care about only like ourselves. So so go there. If you think like whether I should be doing it or not, always go. If you think like whether I should be like going and taking like filming or like going these selected groups, you have opportunity, go. Like every time, you won't regret it like at all. The only time I have regret it is that like once I didn't go to filming when I had the opportunity, and I will never do that again, because still I'm thinking like, okay, I missed that filming.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is how you challenge yourself. It needs to be, I mean, we also talked about some other guests with this. It needs to be a little bit uncomfortable, because that's where you grow. If you always take like the stuff you're very comfortable with, the same style, as you said, and the same level of classes, then don't expect miracles, right? Don't
Exactly.
expect huge changes in a short time.
Exactly. And like for example, for me, like as I'm working with my memory and these challenges like that I cannot remember sometimes, and if I mess up, like I always take it as an experience. And the first time you mess up, it's horrible, but then when you mess up really many times, it's like normal, like okay, now it went like this, but next time it's gonna be better. And it's like the same thing that I'm like doing sometimes like riding like horses, and it's the same thing. Like if you fell down from the horse, you have to go back like immediately, like back to the top, because otherwise you won't do it again. So it's the same thing with filming. Like go there and just have fun. If it goes like a little bit wrong, it's okay. You can always try again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those are all really, really good points, and sometimes it helps to kind of tell ourselves that again and again and
Yes.
again, because we all have moments of doubt. We all have moments where it's like, should I really be doing this? I have this all the time because, again, I started later and I go to these classes with these 20-year-old girls, and I'm like, am I taking up space? Should I be here? Am I taking up space? And, what do they think and stuff and all? I mean, of course, that those are moments, right? That's not the norm, but it's always, we all have some sort of doubt, right? And we, when you think like, are they aware of this or that? We're all aware. We're all aware of stuff that's not good, of stuff that's wrong. Don't worry. We're all working on it, and that's how it is.
Yes, absolutely. And like I think those are really like let's say like dangerous ideas and thoughts that
Mm.
sometimes everybody is having, but like
Mm.
just let's put them like aside and say like, okay, this is not the norm. This is only maybe I haven't eaten well, maybe I haven't slept well, maybe it's like all together, it's just like a bad moment, like not the bad thing. So yeah, once I came to one workshop and I was like so like I had a little bit break because I have like an injury, and I was still dancing, but I wasn't dancing like as much as I'm dancing, for example, now. And I went to the workshop and I had like my heels, and I was so excited, and everything was like really nice. I went there and I felt that I underperformed, and I was so angry. I took like those videos again. Like it comes really important, like why these videos are important, because I came back and I literally threw like my heels to my closet, and I said like I will never dance again to my fiance, like never. Like he was listening, he's really supportive. He was sitting next to me, and then he said like, okay, let's eat. So we ate. I took a bath, and then I was like so disappointed to myself and just like talking like how I could done better. And then like I started to watch the videos, and I was like, uh, but it's not that bad, like of course there is like room to improvement, but I actually did like pretty good. So what is this all about? And that started like the journey inside of me, thinking like, okay. So maybe it is something else. Maybe it is not about like this specific like situation, or like even this dance style, but it was, or maybe the teacher or whatever. It was actually like completely something else. It was like a battle inside of my own head, and I think this is that everybody experiences sometimes. So it's important to remember. But can you imagine if back in that time, like years ago, I had just like left my heels in my closet, then I wouldn't be like sitting right here now.
No, no, definitely not. And again, as you say, we all go through these phases, and it's a phase, and a few hours later you change your mind. And yeah, I can relate. I had the same thing last week when I was in a class, and then there was videos, and then I was like, oh, I did so bad. But then I realized I'm just focusing on the amazing dancer dancing next to me, and then comparing myself, and I'm like, no, let's just zoom in on me. And then I'm like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. So I think it's also this thing that sometimes you're like, think of yourself, think of your level when you entered the class, think of your level when you exited the class. That should be enough.
Yes, exactly. And I want to like talk about a little bit like this comparing yourself, because I think every dancer sometimes like is guilty of doing this. But the more that you can focus only yourself and only, as you said, like improving the things that you find and like enjoying the time that you have like in the dance class, like the better it is. And I haven't yet like found the medicine, like what is when I have those times that I feel comfortable and I'm only focusing myself, and then sometimes like you think like oh, these people dance like so much better, and they have like better technique and whatnot, like they are doing, like how can I get to this point? Maybe it is that, like using this as a motivation, like okay, what those people are doing in a good way, and then I can learn from them. So maybe then it
Mm.
is a little bit
Mm.
like easier. But yeah, it is a hard topic, and especially because we have been like growing up in front of the mirrors, and there is like everywhere there is mirrors, like, and sometimes you even like can support or get the support from the other like people when you don't remember the choreography. This is something that I'm really guilty of doing, like if I don't remember it myself, then I will be watching like the girl next to me. and like learning it from her. But I think I have to work on that too, like just again coming back to the body and mind connection and trying to remember that, like,
Mm,
okay,
mm.
now I'm here, and how does this movement feel, or whatever. But yeah, it is an interesting topic, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably one of the hardest ones with the comparisons and everything. Is there any last messages you want to share?
Just like a big thank you for you doing this. I think it's like so great podcast, and as I said, I'm a big fan, so I'm really honored to be here. If you want to follow me, please go to my Instagram. I post a lot of stories about like my daily life, my witchy stuff, whatever, like tarot readings, some of my reality clips too. Um, and yeah, I think
And there'll be a link in the description as well.
yes, and I hope everybody will have a great start for the year. So I think that's all. Thank you again for having me.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks again.